Welcome to the Dream Huge podcast, where we'll talk with real estate investors, entrepreneurs, business leaders, athletes, and more to inspire you with their success stories so you can work hard, never give up, and dream huge. And now, let's start the show.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Dream Huge podcast. Man, super excited for this one today. We love to share success stories from other huge dreamers, folks in the real estate business, entrepreneurs, movers, shakers, influencers, and more. And hopefully these stories will motivate and inspire you to also dream huge. And today we are joined by my very special guest, a junior at Lexington High School looking to get into the real estate business, Jade Hunt. How you doing, Jade?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, excellent. Jade is shadowing me today. So I said, let's give her the full experience. We're bringing her on the pod, and she's already learned some things. She was actually taking notes. I thought I was boring her to death, but she actually learned a few things today. So excited for that. So thank you for jumping on. And today we have our very special guest, Luke Brock, who is one of the top 100 people in real estate right here on the podcast. He is with America's Preferred Home Warranty. He is a senior vice president of sales, like I said, recognized as a top 100 in real estate. And he is known for establishing strategic alliances within real estate and home builder industries nationwide, and just helping people succeed in this business overall. So Luke, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Pete. Good to see you. And Jade, nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke. Thanks for coming on and taking the time. And I'll say it because he won't. Luke, he's kind of a big deal. Okay. So he is kind of a big deal. And I met him at the local gym, and I come to find out he is with America's Preferred Home Warranty, and he speaks all over the country on behalf of America's Preferred. And he just so happens to live right here in Lexington, Ohio as well. But he is a big time real estate executive, and we're happy to have him on the program. So Luke, tell us a little bit about what you do currently at APHW.
Yeah, you got it. So I'm the senior vice president of sales, and I manage multiple business units here. And primarily coming out of the gate, I've spent most of my life in the real estate world. So I have 5 real estate regions around the country full of salespeople that go in and work with real estate offices and real estate agents and brokers, and work to just bring value to try to help a couple things, to help brokers run solid businesses, while on the same token, helping realtors become more valuable and provide a heightened level of service to their buyers and sellers, right? And so we work through that, and then the other stuff that I'm involved in is I manage the sales of a structural home warranty company, so one that goes in and provides warranties for builders on their new builds. So we cover, we help protect stuff around the workmanship and the systems of the home, and then also the load bearing walls and the foundation as well. So it's a little bit of a different sell than working through the real estate world, but it's another piece of it. And then we have a consumer group that ends up working really hard to, number one, sell warranties directly to consumers that are looking to have warranty covers that maybe are not going through a real estate transaction. And then also the other side of that is when we work really hard to earn new clients through the real estate channel, we want to try to keep them as clients for a long time. And so we work hard to retain our current business. And then the last piece, the newest group that we've had, is we work. We call it Recon, but it's an affiliate sales group that works with people that resell our warranty to their customers. So something outside of real estate might be transaction coordinating companies that want to provide warranties, or title companies, and all those different kinds of services as well. Yeah, just a big group of sales professionals that are out there selling warranties to consumers.
Love it, man. Hey, and you mentioned this, adding value. How important is it for buyer's agents specifically to add value in today's market?
Oh my goodness, this is the core business issue in your industry right now. I mean, outside of just some units are a little softer, and there's a lot of economic drivers that cause some of those changes from rates and things. But at the end of the day, we're working really hard to help realtors build a better value prop to buyers, right? Because the last year or two, all the dialogue's been around things with legislation and lawsuits and a lot of changes in the real estate world. And as an industry, we've always been one of the key tools realtors have to ensure a great home purchase and experience living in a home for a consumer. And the last few years, especially since the COVID epidemic, realtors kind of stopped using the warranty, right? And at least at the level that they have in years past. And we've worked really hard to try to help realtors understand that we are the number one leave behind that a realtor has to ensure a great experience with consumers. And right now, when realtors are really focused on how do I build a value prop to a potential home buyer to where they will contract with me to be their buyer's agent and bring value, they have got to look at being a lot more than just transactional, looking for units. And they need to care as much about a consumer's not just finding a home, because people can go on the web and they can find homes and they have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, but the experience that home buyers have right now, the last few years has been kind of challenging for buyers, right? And so we're one of those tools, and we can help realtors right now build a much better value prop of, I'm here long term to be your partner in buying and selling.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it in one of our earlier conversations. Sometimes the general public feels more comfortable and like a easier, more seamless process if they just go right to the listing agent, because the buyer's agents aren't adding value like they should be. So, in other words, if you're a buyer's agent, you should be adding value by negotiating the price down, by adding your expertise, by getting the seller to provide a home warranty, or providing
Stand
one
behind that
yourself.
home they're buying, right? Stand behind that home that they're buying. That's a big one right now. Sellers, we got into such a blazing hot sellers market for the last number of years. And so sellers sat back and they were getting above list price on their homes. They were generally not having to do concessions and take care of things. And what that does, that leaves a big pot of potential issues and things. And buyers, all the feedback buyers are saying the last 3 or 4 years in real estate are, man, I have some remorse. I feel like maybe I overpaid for my home, and maybe there was some due diligence I didn't get to do on the homes because I was losing out on offers and, cash buyers and all these kind of things. And so their experience the last couple of years, forget what marketing says and forget what fancy TV slicks and all those things say. What consumers are saying is, I don't know how much value there is in working with a buyer's agent these days. They want me to sign a contract. They want me to do this stuff. But if all they're going to do is open a door for me or show me a
And turn
house,
on the light switch.
what's that?
And turn on a light switch.
And turn on a light switch. Right.
Wait, we got a special other guest. Blake, come here and say hi real quick. Real quick. Blake Hunt. This is Jade's father. Jade's at about the end of her day for shadowing, so Blake is here to pick her up. Blake, we're only going to be a few more minutes. Is that all right?
Yeah, no problem.
Two hunts on the pod. That's got to be a record. So thank you, Blake. No, that's it, man. Like, yeah, they have to add value. You have, specifically now with the legislation, we as buyers agents have to add value, or the consumer will go directly to the listing agent.
Well, and
that's
the other thing is too. The other thing too, Pete, is that like if you entered the business, like I can't tell you how many agents over the years I've heard say, I've got a passion for helping people. I have a passion for trying to really help them out, and that's what comes out of their mouth. But if all you're doing is dropping them off in a parachute at the end of a transaction and walking away, and not really, I mean, if you really figure like what's the gold level experience? I had a broker recently tell me, I want my agents to start to view their monetary or their compensation being a 5-star review. They're going to get a commission. They're going to make money for if they've satisfied, but I want them to be way more focused on the experience from the end result is a buyer saying, man, it was a great experience. My agent took care of me. They took all these problems off my desk. They dealt with the negotiations. They dealt with some of the tougher areas of this transaction. Boy, I feel really good about my experience. That's what you want to hear, and agents maybe are, and there's great agents out there, by the way. I'm not saying this is everybody, but the industry as a whole right now is in flux. And I was at an event recently, and I'll finish this one piece up here. I was at an event recently in Austin, Texas, at the local board, and it was a big room. I mean, there were probably 150 agents in the room, and out of that, the lowest producer sold about 100 units a year. So you can tell. I mean, there was a lot of volume, transactional volume in that room. And the conversations, they were supposed to be about an hour talking about lead generation, right? Lead gen as being one of the hour topics. It ended up taking the entire day. And what I came out of that room as I listened to all the conversations were agents right now are so focused on units and lead sources that they forgot that I've already earned a bunch of customers, and it was a lot of work to earn those customers. And their experience living in a home where I can generally ask for a repeat or referral piece of business. At the end of the day, for in this industry, realtors that have been very successful have spent their entire careers primarily inbound leads from their book of business, their sphere of influence, the people they've already served and taken care of. My realtor that's done a good job for me, who helped me come down to Mansfield all the way up from Medina, Ohio. I mean, the guy sold my house in 2002 when it was impossible to sell a house. And he came in and I had already been listed with two other agents. And he came in with a whole game plan, helped me out. And then he's helped me buy 3 or 4 properties since then. He checks on me. He makes sure I'm taken care of. Anything I need researched I mean, the guy is just my bulletproof guy. And that guy has got my business as long as I can use him forever and ever and ever. He's not down here in Mansfield, so I can't say this forever and ever and ever. But the point is, he's made such an impact in my life that I will always use him because he's helped me with all of my goals. And I think sometimes in those consultations that realtors have, they don't always say, imagine this one, Pete. Instead of saying, hey, here's all this fancy stuff I can do for you as your realtor, how about this? Hey, Pete, help me understand. I mean, what are you trying to accomplish? What are the important parts of buying or selling something? What are you trying to do? You know, it's more of I'll call it more of a pain clinic or hey, help me understand what this means to you. Like, in other words, a buyer consultation should be an actual consultation, which is if you go to a consultant, they ask a couple questions and then they're quiet and let you talk, right? Instead of presenting and stuff to you. So anyway, so at the end of the day, buyers need good consultation. And if you're going to be successful as a buyer's agency in today's world, you have to do more than just, like you said, flip on a light switch for somebody.
Jade, what did we learn about helping people today? And how important is that?
Helping people is just really important because at the end of the day, it's a reflection of you, so and your profits. Because at the end of the day, your profits mirror how many people that you help. So if your profits are high, that means you've helped more people.
Yeah, you want to sell warranties for a living, Jay?
She's hired. You want to make more money, help more people. Write it and hang it on the wall. That's what it's all about. Helping people, man. And not just saying it. Not just saying you love
Yeah,
helping
it's not a
people, right,
tagline.
Luke?
It's not a tagline. It's a
Genuinely doing it.
genuine desire to stand in the gap and make a difference in somebody's life because it matters to you and you know it matters to them. And at the end of the day, there's going to be a transaction that occurs. Awesome. That's great. That'll build your income and all those kind of things. But if you can satisfy needs that people have, if you can take problems off their list, if you can do things that genuinely matter to them, you earn the right to ask them for a piece of business.
That's right. Hey, I want to touch on this too, just about the home warranty piece, jumping back to this.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of folks maybe have had a bad experience with a home warranty where they paid for the warranty and then
Yeah.
they had an issue and it was not covered on the claim. And the
Yeah.
thing that stuck out with America's Preferred was the fact that not only do you choose your contractor, but you
Yeah.
in fact want to cover a claim because you want repeat business from that homeowner year over year. So
That's so
explain
funny.
that.
I'm glad you said that because there's a couple different models in the home warranty industry, and I will tell you that a good chunk of providers, not the biggest guys in the business, but a good chunk of the warranty options across the country make their money on the real estate warranty that you guys market to your homeowners. And the problem with making all of your money on that first year experience is you have to protect your net on that front end, right? So sometimes that can, when you're got questionable claims or gray areas of things that you got to look at, there can be a challenge. At America's Preferred, and I'm getting ready to let out a trade secret here, but hopefully nobody sees the podcast, right? These days, but he's like, yeah, whatever. The trade secret is we work really hard to become relevant in the lives of our customers because it's very hard to earn a customer. And so we hope that they will try us out for service that first year. We want to take a problem. Everything that we work on has a high emotional value to it. I don't know how to better put it. It's like nobody's ready today in Mansfield, Ohio on March 7th to have a furnace go out today, right? That's always untimely. No one's expecting it. It doesn't feel good. And immediately you create some anxiety or some concern about it. And when somebody steps in and takes that problem off your plate and says, I'm so glad to help you, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you earn the right to ask them to stay honest customers. And so our average is, I probably shouldn't even share it on here, but I'll just say this, it's greater than 8 years with a customer if we step in and take care of them. And so that homeowner and that home is worth 10 times what I can net on that first year of warranty after bringing Chipotle to your office, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you for that explanation. How did you get into the warranty business, Luke?
Yeah, that's a great concept. So back in 2003, I was in a little bit of flux, still a young guy in my mid to late 20s. Back then, if you remember all the way back to like monster.com days and all those kind of things, somebody reached out to me and asked me to interview for a position. They saw my resume somewhere online, and I actually got out of my vehicle at an Embassy Suites at Rockside in Cleveland. And I said, oh man, it's probably another one of those dumb insurance things. I didn't understand what a home warranty was, right? And I'm like, it's probably commission only, no base salary. And I literally went to walk back in my car and just throw my hands up in the air and say, this is stupid to be here. And I said, you know what? I really haven't interviewed in a couple of years. I probably should go through and just practice interviewing. And so I went in and I interviewed, and the company at the time had just opened up in Cleveland, a real estate company, Realty One back in the day, had about 55, 60 offices in Cleveland. And they just signed the deal, so they needed a Cleveland person. And I got in the business, and with that large warranty company at the time, I was awarded the first year I was the division and national rookie of the year, and then went on for another 3 years as top growth in units and overall revenue and percent to all the things like that. So I won. It just was the right fit of a business for me, and I was very successful. And then the company was acquired. I didn't really care for where the direction of the company, and I got out of the business for 2 years, and I was miserable. I realized, man, I really love spending my time with brokers and agents and being out in the community and not working, sitting in an office like I am today, actually. So I got in the business, had some early success, had a chance with America's Preferred. Uh, One of my buddies who worked with me had gone on to open up the Carolinas for the company back when the company was still pretty young and pretty regional in size. And said, you really got to talk to our owner. He's such a neat guy. And our owner of our company, Randy Kaltrider, is just the neatest guy I've ever met. And he would come into Cleveland every so often, and he would take me for breakfast and buy me some eggs and bacon and toast, and to give me his dream for where he was going to go with the company. And he said, if you're willing to just put your head down, I need you. If you just put your head down and work real hard, you'll have every opportunity. So I went from a Cleveland sales rep to opening up the whole state of Ohio, to then leading our strategic account team. And we just had a lot of explosive growth over the years. I've worked hard to put national agreements together with a lot of the national, real estate firms and franchisors. It's been a good ride, and now we're one of the top 4 or 5 warranty companies in the industry. In 16 years, we went from a very small company to a very large company that's built well, capitalized well, profitable, and just work really hard to be good partners for real estate brokers and agents.
I know that you're doing an amazing job of that. Well, thank you, Luke, for coming to us and spending some time with us.
Yeah.
Finally, any closing thoughts or any advice that you want to give to someone starting out in the business, man?
Yeah, so somebody starting out in real estate, a couple of things is I would work hard to find some key partners, whether it's your warranty, I'll call them core service partners, your warranty, your title, your mortgage reps, people that you can count on. I would try to bolt in with them because they can help you learn all of the pieces all around a real estate transaction that you should be knowledgeable on, right? So you become an expert. And the second thing I would do is something that's not done as well these days, and it's because in the real estate, agents are not sharing like they used to share, right? But if I was a newer agent, I probably would start off on a team. But if I didn't, I would try really hard to be at a place where the top producers and the megas and the top teams were willing to share their successes with me and show me how to kind of mentor me, coach me, answer some general questions like, what do you do? What's the goal when I go to an open house? How do I turn that into a moneymaker? What are things that are working today? What are things that aren't working today? And everything I would do would be immersed in learning, I think. And then doing. I'll tell you one thing I see is some people get into real estate because they don't want a boss. They don't want somebody telling them when to show up for work. All those kind of things. I've seen a lot of that too. The other thing I would say is don't get into real estate unless you have a work ethic, because you're going to have to build a business. It's a business for yourself, not by yourself. I know many seven-figure realtors, people that make millions of dollars a year. I network with a bunch of them, and they all have a common theme. They outwork everybody else around them, and they work really hard on systems and approaches and those kind of things. So start slow. And what I mean by slow is, make sure that you learn the fundamentals in the business, but network with the right people, be available, be coachable, sit down with your broker owner, ask them some questions. How can I be the best at what I do? And then network with some other people that are at the places you want to get to. And I know, like Pete, I know you at Dream Huge Realty, you've got some of those agents. I was so being at your office meeting, at your business meeting the other day, and you got people, they were all sharing with each other, helping each other. Your culture there is outstanding.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you, Luke, so much. That means a lot because I know you've worked with some of the biggest and best out there. That's great feedback to receive. And thank you just for connecting with us and sharing your thoughts and great advice for agents and for homeowners and for Jade. Great advice for Jade as she is thinking about what she is going to do as she gets started. Jade, any questions or comments on any of that?
No, I think that what you said is definitely something that many people can learn from and take into account when they're starting or want to grow their business.
Right. Hey, the main thing that stuck out to me was they got to work hard. They got to work hard, have systems in place, and then look to those mentors and lean into those relationships and learn from others.
You can treat it like any other business. You can grow it every single year. And I will tell you, last thing I'm going to tell you is top people in real estate. Yeah, there's less units in the marketplace. They got to get sharper what they do right now. But people that have those systems in place and they have the work ethic and they get the coaching and they do those things, they're still growing their income. They're still growing other streams of income. They're still building a business that's worth owning and worth having and investing their time and talents in.
Awesome. Thank you for that advice. Thank you for your time. Luke Brock today with America's Preferred Home Warranty. We made it happen, Luke. Thank you for coming on the Dream Huge podcast. Thank you, Jade Hunt, for coming on. A bright future ahead of Jade, and because I know she's going to be a hard worker as well. And everyone, thank you for watching and listening to the Dream Huge podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Oh, wait, before I leave, though, where's the best place for folks to contact you, Luke?
Yeah, so probably, with all honesty, if somebody reaches out to me at lbrock@aphw.com, I will certainly be glad to connect and connect them if they have some people. If they're a realtor viewing it in another market or a homeowner looking for a warranty on their home, I can certainly connect them with the right people.
Yeah, or also you're on LinkedIn as well, Luke Brock.
Yeah, LinkedIn, Instagram, and obviously any social media platform you can find me up.
Very good. Fantastic. Thank you again, Luke. Thank you, Jade. Thank you for watching the Dream Huge podcast. And as always, remember the rules. Work hard. Never give up. Trust America's Preferred Home Warranty. And dream huge, baby. Let's see the guns, y'all. See them. Put them up. Put them up. Put them up. Boom. There we go. Thanks, y'all. Have a great day.
See you at the gym, huh, Pete?
See you at the gym, baby.
Thank you for listening to the Dream Huge podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. For more inspiring content, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Dream Huge Realty and on TikTok at Dream Huge Inc. Until next time.